while I was studying mechanical engineering, I met up with some of the art faculty, most notably Chris Csikszentmihalyi, and he sort of got me into thinking differently about engineering and creating your own DIY devices that could be used for art. And for me, this was pretty much the beginning of innovation in my mind. When I first decided to build my own instruments, I think it was a bit of an experiment. And as much as my stuff might look high-tech, robotic, and I know people misinterpret what I've been doing, but really it was the exact opposite. I really wanted to make a very organic, live electronic experience. My instruments are designed basically for functionality. I think about a sound that I want to make, and I think about how do I want to play it. Then I start to think about, okay, so it needs to slide. Okay, it needs a slide. Okay, you need bearings and a shaft. Okay, well, here's your bearing and your shaft. Put that into the CAD. Okay, well, there's electronics on the thing that slide. Well, then you need a chain. And then you start adapting some of these strategies that they use in the robotics industry or control systems. These are things I'll apply to my design, and I think some people in the music world who aren't familiar with these misinterpret these as embellishments. Really, it's just trying to make the thing work very well and be very robust. Don't want to over design. I don't want to fetishize. That's steampunk. I don't make steampunk, and I don't make concessions like that. I make things from the materials that are going to last the longest, and they're going to feel good in your hand. I think when a lot of people make sound art, there is a tendency for this to be very atonal, ambient drone. Sound art can be more forward than that, and there's no reason to feel guilty about making metal and making music that is driving and rhythmic and primal. I really feel that heavier and sincere music is very honest. I would say even more than music, I feel like I'm influenced by film and by some of the really dark and psychologically torturous films by people like Lars von Trier and Ingmar Bergman, and movies like Breaking the Waves and Melancholia. Antichrist are incredibly painful to watch, but for me, I think in some ways slightly comical because they are so treacherous and dark that there's nowhere but up after you experience this kind of emotion. And for me, I think it definitely, my music comes from exactly the same place. I've always had this idea of a sound that I'm trying to make. I've always chased the same sound. It's something maybe I heard in high school, and I'm never going to let go of it. And I think some people will say like, oh wow, you're still into that kind of music, or you still are following that one sound. And it's true. I think I just heard something once or interpreted something I heard, and I'm really chasing that. And for me, that sound is a very organic drone, and it has a little bit of a dip and a slight dissonance and a resonance that can shake you. And I'm always basically trying to make my instruments be able to do that.